wrap it up here. How do you expect it to go? Like a tight finish for you, and I mean Hamilton clearing it off early, and being very obvious that he's going to win, or what are you expecting?
I think Hamilton may play the mind game on Max. As much as I know he will try to push to get a very good pole position. But once he knows that he gets behind Max, because I do remember when I first came here, I told you that Max does not focus when Hamilton is behind him. He can't focus. So for Hamilton, he would play the mind game on Max and would make sure that once he will try and win, for him to be a win for him, so that he can close the gap on the points and know that he doesn't need to struggle to have to win for the last race. He wouldn't need to try. But Max has a lot to offer.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say, 1-2 is between them, Max
Yes.
and Hamilton. I'm not sure which order, but I'm sure Hamilton wouldn't mind if he doesn't get pole. He has a quicker car and he knows he can force Verstappen to make mistakes.
Let's see who's forced to make the mistakes and who keeps the focus. And thank you so much, Nase. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
making the time. Let's see how all of this goes. I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, all of it will wrap up in Qatar. Let's see if Qatar will become a big question mark or it'll be obvious. Well, all the best. So, Ansqua, thank you so much. Nana everybody, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Bye.
All right, still here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. And we will be doing a bit of hockey before we get into the main conversations today. Remember, we're discussing the Black Stars. We're discussing Ghana, the international image. And, whether or not we should even be placing focus on some of these things. How much is it affecting us? Is it affecting our image and all of that? We are going to be focusing on that here on the Joy Sports Link. And of course, remember, from a Phobian perspective and from a Ghanaian perspective as well, the lone, contender in the CAF Confederation Cup is in competition this weekend. What happens with the Accra Hearts of Oak going away to play JS Aura? Of course, flight arrangements are such that Accra Hearts of Oak have to, do about 4 to 5 connections before getting there. Well, all of these will be discussed very, very heavily here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. The General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Prosper Harrison Addo, will be here in the studio. Also, the Chair of the National Chapters Committee of Accra Hearts of Oak, Elvis Herman Hesse, will also be here with me in the studio. But now, let's turn our attention to a bit of hockey and look at Ghana and the talk about sports tourism and the kinds of opportunities we're opening up with our respective sporting disciplines. Let's now get into the business, shall we? And of course, here with me in the studio is the chair of the local organizing committee for the recently ended African Cup for Club Champions, Mr. Frank Awuku. Thank you so much for your time. It's been such a long while. Yeah, good to have you here in the studio.
Nice meeting you again, Citizen Ato.
Yeah. Sure. Now, say congratulations to you and the team for putting up a very good tournament.
Thank you for that.
Now, when the national hockey pitch, which is now the Theodosia Oko National Hockey Pitch, was refurbished, there was a lot of talk about how, it was going to position us to, put ourselves up to host a lot of these tournaments, take the opportunities available there and host a lot of these tournaments as much as possible. We went ahead, we did. But it just looks like this last tournament has reignited that passion for bringing people here, bringing the attention to Ghana and making the most out of the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Citizen. Hockey has been a passion game for a lot of us, you inclusive. You've been following hockey.
Sure.
Even those days when I was the chairman of the Great Accra Hockey Association. Yes, COVID brought everything down.
Sure.
So the hockey pitch was closed for some time. And you can just imagine, when things started going better, things had to be changed also. Fortunately, through Ghana Gas, we have changed the turf. We have one of the beautiful turfs in Africa.
Yeah. The blue turf.
The blue turf.
Very, very interesting, yeah.
Even in Japan during the Olympics, this was the kind of turf they played on.
Wow.
And it has really ignited some beauty at the stadium. But the stadium itself has not been refurbished.
Okay.
Buildings and other things since 2009 when it was built under the late President Mills. And we are doing our best. If you come down, if you were there about a month ago, you would doubt whether we could have hosted the club championship. But through God's grace and hard work, diligence and humility, we've been able to put things into shape. We are still continuing. And thankfully, all those teams that came, we had teams from Nigeria, Egypt, and Kenya. They were so impressed. And we had a successful tournament. And as I talk to you now, after the club championship, we are hosting the African Cup of Nations, the version of what Black Stars is playing in football. Ours is also a World Cup qualifier. And so the LOC is continuing its job. We are not resting on our OS at all. And I can assure things will go on better.
Now, the bit about, refurbishing the other facilities at the hockey pitch, how much time have you given yourselves? Because we're in December. I mean, time is also running.
Yeah, we hope to finish this December and maybe early January. All depends on funds. And still, it's Ghana Gas which is doing all things. And we know they can't do all, but they are doing their best. In fact, we have to give them a pat on the shoulder.
Sure, that's why we'll have to say a very, very big shout to Dr. Benasante and the team at Ghana Gas. Dr. Benasante is also the current president of the Ghana Hockey Federation.
Yeah.
Dr. Benasante, kudos and congrats to you. And we're looking forward to seeing you do even more, for Ghana Hockey, with everything that your outfit Ghana Gas is doing. Now, so as things are going now, the expectation is that before the end of this month, the whole Theodosia Oko National Hockey Pitch should be good to go.
Yeah. You haven't been there, but if you can, we can tell you emphatically, we have asphalted the whole car park and its surroundings.
Okay.
It's very beautiful. We have done it very well. We have finished with the hostel. As for the hostel, about 95% complete, and we are on the main administrative structure, which is the VIP and other offices.
Very well.
And painting will be going on from Monday as well. And like I said, it's all boils down to funding, and this is what Ghana Gas is doing, and we are entreating them to do more like you are asking them to do. And we hope to refurbish it. And then we are looking at it in a different way, and we hope by the time we finish, you see the stadium as a new stadium as it used to be in 2009 when you came there.
Wow, interesting stuff. But after all of this, the question again about the plan for maintenance. Proximity to the sea has always been a challenge. We have similar problems with Accra Sports Stadium, which is now being refurbished as well. What will be the plan going forward, especially because of the kinds of lessons we learned after 2009, the period between 2009 and now?
Yes, in 2009, I happened to be a member of the committee that were put together to build the stadium. I was coordinating between the Bank of Ghana and the Hockey Association. And I quite remember I told the then executives, chaired by Mr. Okojani, well, why don't we put in something so that we have an agreement with Bank of Ghana, refurbishing or renovating this stadium every 5 years. Unfortunately, he agreed. But unfortunately, it was an oversight. We couldn't do that. And if we had done that by this time, we could have gone further. We wouldn't have had all these problems. So what we intend doing now is that we'll talk to Ghana Gas. We are still in talks with them. And because of the president of the Ghana Hockey Association, who happens to be Dr. Asante, we want to also enter into an agreement with Ghana Gas so that maybe every 5 years, something can be done about works at the hockey stadium.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Now, let's also look at the technical side. The last time that Ghana hosted this was 12 years ago.
Yeah. And
it was a resounding success, like we all do remember. A resounding success. Gave Ghana a very positive, international, round of, PR and all of that. Now, we couldn't win. I mean, the male and female teams could not, but what will be the plan this time? We know that the North Africans are strong, the Southern Africans are also very strong. What's the plan going forward on the technical side as well?
Technically, we've beefed up a lot of technical structures. We have a very good technical bench and team now. The ladies, we are very, very sure that we are going to win a medal, if not gold. We are second after South Africa, and South Africa is only our problem. The last time we played them, our ladies were leading. It was just getting to the closing stage of the match that they lost focus and they lost to South Africa, else would have beaten them. But this time around, we hope to bring them down. And they are coming here. And as we talk, they had wanted to go to or come into camping from tomorrow, because we have a hostel facility just behind the pitch.
Yeah.
We are very lucky. When they come, we don't have to pay for hotel bills, no transport bills and all that. But the only logistics is feeding.
Okay.
So that is what we are working on. They had wanted to come into camping tomorrow, but we've told them to do non-residential camping for the week. And then maybe possibly by the end of this next week, we might get some resources from government and Ghana Guards as well, and then put them into residential camp.
Great stuff there. Well, we're just wrapping up the conversation on hockey, and then after that we'll focus on the main discussion for today, which has to do with Ghana and the bid to qualify for the next FIFA World Cup and the recent setback. Some don't even see it as a setback. Well, we'll discuss all of that right here. The General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association will be here with us in studio. Also, discussing Accra Hearts of Oak and wanting to overcome the Algerian hurdle tomorrow at the with J.S. Saura is the chairman of the National Chapters Committee of Accra Hearts of Oak, Elvis Herman Hesse, here with me in the studio. Now, Mr. Oku, just before we wrap the conversation up, there's also the talk, beg your pardon, about getting the next generation of people to get involved. Last weekend, we had a conversation about women's football. And after the show, a friend of mine had a lengthy conversation with me about getting the next generation to be interested in conversations like these so that they do not sound so technical and so far away from them. We've had many conversations about reigniting the promotion of hockey in our schools because that is the best possible bet for us to get a consistent flow of talents who can feed all of these national teams.
Yeah. Thank you for this question. It's $1 million question, and it's a question which is on the lips of everybody in development, especially our technical bench. Some of them have started. We have about 12 coaches trained by Mr. Abedu, one of the technical directors of the Ghana Hockey Association, and they go to schools to help them understand the game, train them. In fact, some of them were with me yesterday telling me about their plights and everything, and I've given them assurance that they should wait for the end of the tournament, and I'll talk to the president alongside it, and we shall see how best we can do. All they need is logistics, and hockey is very expensive. The stakes, the goalkeepers' equipment, they are all very, very expensive. And with this kind of logistics, if we have them, we can build the capacity in the schools. And it is quite interesting. We had Edio Damiti and other people who brought up people from Bukom, Ayalolo area to play hockey, and some of them have done well. They played to the national level and all that. And we think we have to revisit it, and we are visiting it. The schools fine. We are doing it. Legon has a team which plays in our current league. And so we are not resting on ours. And we want to do that to help the next generation. I was watching tennis the other day and I saw next generation tennis. And that sparked something on me. Next generation tournament, which is coming to replace the Nadals and the Federers and all that. So I said, well, let's put something like this also into hockey and give them the chance to be playing international competitions. So we are doing that. And very soon we will come up with a massive program to enhance the development of hockey.
All right, Mr. Frank Awoku, thank you so much for making time to pass through the studio. We will be keeping tabs on you and everything else. And of course, our doors are always open. We're here to help to promote, and we're looking forward to having a massive Hockey Cup for Nations in January next year.
We count on your support, because without you, we can't do anything. As I talked to you, teams from other countries, like Uganda, Malawi. Yesterday, Malawi called me. They have started booking their hotels. They have started booking their hotels for this Cup of Nations tournament. And we hope to see you there before and after.
Wow, interesting stuff there. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Frank Awoku, a very dominant force within the setup of Ghana Hockey. He has previously served as Greater Accra chairman under the Ghana Hockey Federation, and also led the LOC for the organization of the just ended Hockey Club Championship. A lot is happening in January, you know. The Africa Cup of Nations. And of course, the Hockey Cup for Nations here in Ghana as well. You're still here on Joy 99.7 FM. This is the Joy Sports Link. And we will begin the conversation. The corridors of Accra, Hearts of Oak. But before that, let me play, a song that is very much associated with, their younger brothers. Is that what they refer to them as? I'll ask Elvis to tell me about that. Hey, these Oli people. Charlie, Elvis, good to have you here in the studio. And I love your colors. You are in white, and I'm sure it all has something to do with the expected victory tomorrow in Algeria, right?
Sure. By God's grace, it shall come to pass.
Definitely. Okay, you know why I played this song for you to start off the conversations? You know, this is a Hearts of Oak conversation. But yesterday at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Accra Great Olympics landed and sealed off a sponsorship deal with the Magdan Group. So from the next match day, we're going to see Accra Great Olympics have the official shirt sponsorship of Magdan Group. Now, $270,000 US based for every season for the next 3 seasons. And there's a cash component of $100,000, and the remaining $170,000 is performance based. Win the Ghana Premier League and you will get $100,000 from Magdan Group. Win the MTN FA Cup and you will get $50,000 from the Magdan Group. If you finish 4th in the in the Ghana Premier League, there's a prize of $20,000 to be earned from the Magdan Group. So it was sealed and signed, and all key persons involved, including the president of the Ghana FA, were there to witness this signing ceremony between the Magdan Group, who were represented by this executive chairman, Dr. Daniel Macaulay, and also the board chair of Accra Great Olympics, His Excellency Amakai Amatefiu. So congratulations to the Great Olympics family for landing this big sponsorship. Let's see how much it's going to boost to ensure that you do well in the Ghana Premier League. And last season, the same set of people, Dr. Daniel Macaulay, Mr. Humphrey Williams, lawyer Frank Davis, and lawyer Gabi Asario Chedako, they wanted to pay some winning bonus to ensure that Great Olympics beats Accra Hearts of Oak, but it didn't happen. Hey, this is your younger brothers. No, but how do you refer to Great Olympics? Sometimes they say they are the landlords of Accra. You say you are also the landlord. So who are the real landlords of Accra?
Oh, anyway, definitely we are the major landlords. That is not in dispute at all, because as landlords we've achieved a lot, and the records are there to for everybody to see where we are the landlord. So I think that Olympics are our junior brothers. They love to make the noise. We love to remain quiet and do our game on the pitch.
Oh my goodness, this is interesting, isn't it? But once again, we say congratulations to the Great Olympics family. They've done a wonderful job in landing this, and we're hoping that, from a general point of view, others also hold this. We're just having a conversation about hockey here, where you're seeing Ghana Gas show the way in supporting hockey, because the CEO of Ghana Gas happens to be the president of the Ghana Hockey Federation. If other institutions are able to replicate this and are able to get close to these clubs, the lots of and the issue of sponsorship in our football will be something of the past. And of course, issues of financing are something we're going to be discussing today. So you send us your messages. Remember, it's 055 1111997, 055 1111997 here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM, as we start off the conversations in the camp of Accra Hearts of Oak, who are looking forward to scaling this hurdle that's being put before them by JS Saoura of Algeria. Okay, Elvis, let's begin from the travel process, which many times poses a very massive challenge for the clubs and for the players, the playing body especially. Now, as things stand, Hearts of Oak, the playing body and the technical team and the leadership had to, do a few transfers. Yeah. I mean, and everybody's been talking about it. I'm sure you've monitored some of the conversations.
Sure.
Where, there was talk about how you'd have preferred to have maybe like a chartered flight so that the players will have the peace of mind to concentrate on the game and not be too worn out. I mean, psychologically and all of that.
Yeah, Nat, that is what we were all expecting. Chartered flights would have done us a lot of good. At least the boys would be able to get to their destination on time and also rest. But it's unfortunate that we didn't get it. So we have to make do with the series of transits that we did, from Ghana to Bache, and God willing, we arrived yesterday. The team arrived yesterday safely. So it's unfortunate. From what I gathered, the board did everything possible to get a chartered flight for the boys, because we know what is at stake. We needed to qualify at all costs, So they did their best. It's an issue that I think that in future government must also get highly involved in ensuring that they assist the clubs in those aspects, because chartered flights, like I said earlier, would have made a lot of, it would have solved the problem somehow. But all the same, we needed to make do with what we had, and yesterday they arrived safely.
Okay. We're glad about that conversation of government and the collaboration, but just recently, government showed, some commitment, token-wise, not something very, very major. The president, gave a directive for 1 million Ghana cedis to be given to Accra Hearts of Oak. At least, the president has done something. I mean, it may not be the ideal amount that you probably will be looking for, but he has shown the way and made a commitment, isn't it?
No, sure, and that is good for our football. Football is all about investments. A lot goes into football, especially financially. So we appreciate the efforts of government, and definitely, like Oliver Twist, we would always want more. $1 million is a lot of money. It can make a lot of
Ghana cedis.
1 million Ghana cedis. Sorry, it's a lot of money, and it will assist the club in so many ways.
But Elvis, I want you to give us a bit of a reality, as to what participating in these tournaments is like on the coffers of clubs. The reason why sometimes some smaller clubs don't even want to venture, that is when they get the slots to play, in the CAF Confederation Cup and probably in the Champions League. So for a project like this, I mean, what are the cost centers so that everybody has a bit of a realistic feel of what the clubs go through financially when it gets to this point to go and participate in African competitions? Because I'm doing a quick calculation off the top of my head, and I'm thinking, okay, so commercial flights that are going to do a couple of connects, at various destinations before getting into Algeria, the minimum of maybe like $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 per head.
I understand it's about $1,900 per head.
$1,900 per head.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, so my producer needs to start doing the calculations now. By what, like 30? A contingent of about 30?
Yeah, it's
20?
about 30. Yeah, about 29
Okay.
or 30. Yeah.
Wow. So and the FA's general secretary is here. He has a very good understanding of some of these things. So the flights alone are hovering around like $50,000 plus.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure. It's not easy. Nat, the reality is that playing the African competition is not easy. And every year, imagine if you qualify every year and you are not able to get to the group stages, then it becomes a burden because it looks more as if you keep wasting money and you are not making gains for the money. And so most of the times, especially in Ghana, you realize that we've lost some of our slots because we've not been able to participate the way it should be. It is good to be competitive in Africa. It's very, very good. At least, the image of the club also goes high. So we would want to participate in Africa every year. But if you look at the financial that go into playing in Africa, it's not easy, especially when you don't qualify to the money zone. And we were just making some quick calculations. Per head, each person is supposed to pay around $1,900 to get to Algeria. That's an estimated figure. It's not easy.
And then issues of accommodation,
Issues
ground
of
transfer, and all
accommodation,
of that.
Exactly. So it's not easy. And imagine if, may God forbid, you are not able to qualify to the money zone. You come and start all over again. You've got a lot to do on the local scene as well, because we are still playing the local games. We'll be traveling from one town to the other, one city to the other. And so football itself is it's not a child's play. It's a big, the industry is big.
Big investments required for a very big industry. And,
Sure.
So I'm glad that we also have the General Secretary of the Ghana FA, Lawyer Prosper Harrisonado, here with me. Good to have you in the studio. And you look good. Only that this year I haven't had my my jersey, my replica jerseys. I have the cloth because I emceed the event. But, so that will be my Christmas present. You have over 1 million people listening to you all over the world. Prosper, it's good to see you, and thank you for making the time at short notice. Look, so from where you sit at the level of the FA, obviously it will be a very big point of pride to see our clubs do well. And there's this conversation as well about Ghana, our space or our place in terms of relevance on the African continent. But then you come to these big and prestigious club competitions and we've lost our slots and we're still trying very hard to get there. And we're confronted with some of these challenges.
I'm happy we both of you came from the standpoint that we've lost our slot. But the thing is that I said I'm happy because then it means that our posturing is that we should be in the top 10 to get the 2 slots. So per the regulation, no country has slots. But when they do the calculation and the coefficient, in terms of the previous tournaments you've played and the levels your clubs reach, that's what gives you points. And then the top countries are given 2 slots. And in the recent past, we've not done too well. And that's why we are left with the normal 1 slot that is given to every nation. But we see ourselves as one of the top countries, and we must quickly get back to where we will get 2 slots. So that is why the FA and the sports ecosystem must support our clubs when they go to Africa. This year, even though Asofok won the double, and then they opted to play in the Champions League. So basically, the money from the FA Cup, we had 100,000 from the FA Cup, 100,000 from the FA Cup that we give to the club that goes to the wins the FA Cup
Okay,
and
but
represents.
Okay, but
So
100,000
Ghana cedis.
in Ghana cedis,
Yes,
very well.
that's so immediately we extended that to Asofok to go. So administratively too, we've been supporting. Don't forget they are representing the FA, and so everything from CAF comes to the FA before we send it to Asofok. We get responses and send it to CAF as well. And I must say that the journey to the to the north is not that easy. It's part of the traveling in Africa. We don't have direct routes sometimes, and it's very, very challenging. I'm sure you heard the noise that welcomed my statement that the match between Asofok and Kotoko has been postponed, the week 7 match. So basically, we're in talks with Asofok. We asked for the itinerary, and then they gave us the travel plans. Immediately we got the travel plans, we realized that they would go and play and return to Ghana coming Friday. So once they are coming back on Friday, normally we'll leave 2 days. We leave 2 days interval between the your arrival and then your next match. So typically, if you come on the Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you won't play a domestic match. You play Thursday or beyond. So if Asofok are arriving in the country on Friday, they can't play Saturday, they can't play Sunday. They would play Monday. We all know that we cannot realistically have us and Kotoko on the Monday because we can't play evening. You are playing 3 o'clock already with the traffic and everything. It means you are going to have a grade down, a lockdown in the ministry area, and so we have to find another day. But Sunday, the traffic situation is better, and then football can be enjoyed better. This is our biggest match on the calendar, so that explains it. They have to go through Ivory Coast to Turkey to Algiers, and then once you get to the capital of Algeria, which is Algiers, this club is not one of the clubs in Algiers. So take it typically for people to understand. Take it that
Like an RTU.
yes,
yeah,
or
yeah.
you are playing Adriana
Yeah.
FC. So typically, when you get to the capital, you take a plane to another city and take a plane so take a plane from Accra to Kumasi, and then from Kumasi find your way to Doma.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing we are talking
Exactly.
about, and that's why it's a very long and checkered journey. If we had a direct route to Algeria, or there is enough money, you take a private jet, you go straight to Algiers because you have to land at the capital first, international airport first. Then you move to the next town. It will make the travel better. The players will relax better, and I think the product in terms of the output will be better. So we can only wish the team the best. When they got to Algiers, we had engagement with them. Even the rules as it is, because they are traveling with a contingent, the rules are said that when you land in the capital, if the distance between the capital and your home grounds is more than 200 kilometers, then you have to fly the team. And so they have to fly as a folk from Algiers to their town. And now they were talking about numbers. And typically they want to use the regulation
Yeah.
and say that they can only airlift 25 people and leave the rest for us of folk to cater for. But don't forget that there was some directives and other protocols that came in terms of the return to football from CAF. Now CAF wants the teams to have 9 substitutes on the bench. You space them and things. So if you have 9 substitutes and then you have 11 playing, then you have the technical team. It's more than 25.
Exactly.
So we had to resolve that and everything before they're able to move as well. So I'm glad that they are there. The players look in high spirit. So we would pray and wish them well and expect that they would lift the flag very high distinguish themselves.
As I mentioned, you can send your messages in as we look ahead to Accra Hearts of Oak versus JS Saoura. Very shortly, we'll be getting on the phone line to speak to an African football specialist, Sheikh Tofik Senu. He's been taking a lot of time to look at the facts and the figures around some of these games, and we'll be looking at what the numbers are also looking like, performance-wise. But of course, Accra Hearts of Oak is going in here with that single, platform of pride, being the first club to win the CAF Confederation Cup in its introductory year. 055-1111-997, 055-1111-997. Elvis Herman Hesse is here with me. He'll be taking leave of us very shortly because there are other assignments to take charge of. Now, Elvis, how hungry is Accra Hearts of Oak in the face of all of these challenges and difficulties? How hungry is Hearts of Oak, for this particular, result? Because there's a 2-0 cushion from Accra, but of course we know what the stories are like when, what even resulted in Accra Hearts of Oak dropping from the CAF Champions League.
This time it's not only about Accra Hearts of Oak, it's about Ghana football. Like my General Secretary said earlier, we can't choose or we can't afford to disappoint Ghanaians for the second time. You remember our experience in Morocco some few weeks ago, which was not something that we were expecting. I think that the technical team, the players, all of us as supporters, Ghanaians, we've learned our lessons from that match. Fortunately for us, we have 2 goals, going into this second leg. And I am very optimistic. I'm very, very much sure that we are going to come home. Not necessarily to win the match, but at least to qualify to the next stage of the competition. So we are expecting the boys and the technical team to guide the boys, very well. A draw or maybe 1-0 could take us to the promised land.
And CAF has also given the directive for this game to be played behind closed doors. Let's begin it from you, Elvis. You, from the fans' perspective, of course, we know the kinds of times we're in, considering that there's an Omicron variant for COVID as well. And even here, the Ghana FA has instituted that you don't get vaccinated. No vaccination, no entry at our grounds. But hey, it's not even like if fans were allowed, we were going to have any massive representation which could make a difference in there.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So does it go to Hearts of Oak's advantage that this is going to play behind closed doors?
No, not really. Not really. As much as we all agree that fans play huge roles, but we also should take note of what happened to us again in Morocco. There were no fans at the stadium, and yet we lost by 6-1. I think what matters most at this moment is preparation. I think that the boys should be well psyched, whether there are fans at the stadium or not. Accra Hearts of Oak is a big club. Our players are used to, those numbers. They experienced it during the league and the FA Cup when we attended matches in our numbers. So if even fans were allowed into the stadium, I am still sure that we would have qualified to the next stage of the competition. But most importantly, it's the tactics on the day and how we are going to manage the game tomorrow. It's very important to us. I think that we should be very disciplined tomorrow.
What for you won it for Hearts, the other day at the Accra Stadium?
I think that our boys are determined. They know that Ghanaians are solidly behind them. And let me say kudos to the FA. Like the General Secretary said, they've been very helpful. Immediately after that match, we quickly moved to Pram Pram to train on the AstroTurf because we are going to play on the synthetic pitch tomorrow. So I think that the FA, they've been very supportive. They've been very, very supportive. And the boys are much aware. When they got to OGS yesterday, the ambassador spoke to them at length about what is expected of them from Ghana. So I think that what really, made the difference in Accra was the fact that the boys wanted to go higher than where they are now.
Elvis, while we talk about this, and of course, the main area of importance right here is that of the CAF Confederation Cup at the game tomorrow. But the performance of Hearts of Oak hinges very highly on what is happening in the Ghana Premier League. The start or the defense of the title won last season did not start exactly well. For you, do you feel that Hearts has now leveled up in terms of form and all of that, or are going to take more time to peak? What's the plan?
Yeah, for some of us who have followed Accra Hearts of Oak for quite some time, from childhood especially. This is no surprise to me. Some years back, and let me say that sometimes when we are playing in the African competition, we tend to have difficulties in the local game. So it is, for me, it is no surprise to me, that we are not performing too well on the local scene. But very soon, everything will get back to order, and I'm sure that we will start playing our normal game because these current players that we've got currently, they are not too experienced like what we used to have in the past. So playing in the African continent and playing on the local scene, it looks more as if they are overburdened or there is some sort of fatigue.
Very well.
But very soon they will begin to get used to it, especially if we qualify to the group stages and they realize that, look, we've got to play at the group stages and still play on the local scene. They will adjust to it and we'll start winning matches very soon.
So the plan to defend the title is on. The course is still smooth and it's running.
Oh, why not? Not. It's a marathon. We've just started. Some people have taken the lead. Let's see. Last season they did same. We are not saying that. Look, let's congratulate Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They are doing well, and it's a lesson to us that, look, the game is on. We need to fight for the title. We need to defend the title as true and worthy champions. Okay, we want treble, and we can't afford to lose the title this season. But I want to assure the fans of Kumasi Asante Kotoko that we are coming stronger, and they should be careful.
I'm looking forward to the confirmation for the date of the rescheduled Super Clash Part 1, and then we can have a conversation. But Prosper, when are we going to get that confirmation for the rescheduling of the Super Clash?
It will come very soon. We need to look at the calendar and then make some moves. We need to move some of the matches and then fix it properly on a day that is suitable for everyone.
Well, it has to happen, and we're looking forward to it. Elvis would have to release you so you can take care of other very pressing assignments.
Sure.
And thank you so much for making the time. But we will be very, very keen on this journey for Accra Hearts of Oak. There'll be live commentary here on Joy99.7 FM tomorrow, and so everybody has to follow that game right here on all of our platforms. So a final message to the fans of Accra Hearts of Oak before we wrap it up.
Yeah, my final message goes to Kumasi Asante Kotoko rather, not Accra Hearts of Oak.
Oh, not okay. Not
Yes. They are our rivals, and whenever there is this kind of opportunity, we need to set the record straight.
Okay.
They've attacked the FA for postponing the match. They've said that we are running. I want to assure them that we are not running. It was important that we focus on this African campaign. Anytime that the FA chooses to set for the next match with them, we are ready to face them. And I am assuring them on your platform that we are going to beat them again like we did last season. So they should prepare for us. Yeah.
Well, and then a final
They
one.
should remember that since I became the chairman of the National Chapters Committee under the current NCC, they've not won any competitive match against Accra Hearts of Oak. It's very important for them to take note.
That's a very big statistic. And another very quick one before you wrap it up with us. The whole subject about Gladson Awako and, when we were going to see him finally don the jersey to play a competitive game for Hearts. Now, is firmly behind us. But generally, what's the talk within the Hearts of Oak family about this, the solution that has been found to this, this issue or this problem?
Yeah, Nat, initially, the supporters were divided even when we got the information that he was coming back to the club. Supporters, we are so passionate. We do things with emotions. Some even expressed their opinion. Some said we shouldn't allow him back into the club. But this is where the supporters leaders had a huge role to play. We spoke to a lot of them. He's now our son. He's our brother. We've got to accept him back. We've got to support him. He had personal issues. And I think that the club played a very good role in ensuring that he was given enough time to, get back. Since he's back, we shouldn't say no to him. So let me use your medium to appeal to those fans who are still not satisfied that Gladson Awako is back to Accra Hearts of Oak. They should put everything behind them. Let's support him. And I believe strongly that he's going to be a very good addition to our team, especially in midfield. He's so experienced. We need him at this moment, and I am looking forward to playing to Gladson Awako playing in the match against Kotoko, and it will be a very nice match.
Well, let's see how all of it goes. All right, Elvis, thank you so much. It's been wonderful having your company here, and we'll be following Accra Hearts of Oak. Like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be live commentary here on the Joy Sports Arena tomorrow as we look ahead to Accra Hearts of Oak versus JS Aura Part 2. And hopefully would see who makes it to the next stage of the competition. Elvis, thank you so much, and
Thank you
all
very
the best
much,
with this.
Thank you for having me.
So,
General Secretary, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're still here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy 99.7 FM. We're going to get into the Ghana conversation more, the Black Stars conversation and the recent news that came in from the corridors of FIFA that a protest that was brought against Ghana by the South African Football Association, SAFA, had been thrown out. Before that, however, we're going to take some comments from Sheikh Tofik Sienu, who is a football specialist, an African football specialist and a journalist. And he has been also focusing, on this big fixture between Accra Hearts of Oak and JS Saoura. Let's see how that one goes. Sheikh, thank you so much for your time. It's good to have you here on the Joy Sports Link.
You're always welcome, Nat.
Very well. How's the weekend going?
Alhamdulillah. We've had some small time to rest. Now we are preparing for the weekend games and also the House of Oak game tomorrow.
Very well. There is a very big psychological battle that Hearts of Oak need to overcome, considering the fact that they are just going up against, North African opposition away, And this away factor with North African teams is something that bugs Ghanaian clubs a lot in the last few years, as we all have seen. What for you will be the factors that could ensure that Hearts of Oak get out of this game with a good result that can ensure that they move to the next stage?
First of all, the technical team and the playing body need to approach the game with a very strong mentality. A winning mentality, of course, because if we are approaching a game with a mentality of going for a draw, you may end up losing the game. But if you go with a mentality of winning, if you don't win, you get a draw. And even if you don't get a draw, you get a slim defeat that can still see you qualify to the next stage of the competition. So first, House of Oak will need to approach the game with that strong mentality of winning the game. Comparing JSS to WAC, clearly you realize that the JSS side is not as strong as WAC of Morocco, the side that beat House of Oak 6-1 in Morocco.
Yes.
So House of Oak have an advantage of getting a very good scoreline in Algeria to qualify to the next stage of the competition. You drop from the CAF Champions League to the Confederation Cup, and the greatest motivation that the team will have at this particular point in time is that if we are out of the Confederation Cup, there is no African competition for us this year. So the players, the technical team must be strong in the mind. They will face a lot of challenges in terms of officiating, in terms of the treatment that will be given to them, and even in terms of the transportational route. House of Oak had to take about 5 flights before they got to Morocco. The problem of transportation within Africa has always been an issue.
Yes.
And it is a great thing that will take a heavy toll on the House of Oak team. They couldn't train on Wednesday in the evening, Thursday no training, Friday no training. It is only today that they will have a shake-up for the game that is coming on tomorrow. So a bit of heaviness will be in for the players, but the coach will need to psych the players and strengthen their mindset. Establish a good bond with them to ensure that they give him the results that he needs. So playing against JSS tomorrow, all that House of Oak need to do is to approach the game with a very strong mentality, no matter the frustrations that they will go through, whether from officiating, whether from the players or wherever. They have to still maintain their cool and focus on the target and go for it.
Very well. In terms of pedigree, clearly Accra Hearts of Oak is standing a shade higher than JS Saoura, and really that is it. how much of the confidence from this game or the first leg win are you expecting Hearts to apply to this one? You've spoken about mental toughness already, but we all know that the North Africans always like to play a very pacey game, and normally when you start, from the blast of the whistle, they like to apply a lot of pressure, try to unsettle you in the early stages of the game.
Yes, JSS in the first leg tried that on a couple of occasions, but it didn't work for them. Of course, when they were also coming to Ghana, they also had to go through the same route by using 5 flights before getting to Ghana, based on where they are located in Algeria. They are the southwestern side of Algeria, very down south. So they had to go through a very long route before getting here. So clearly you could see on the field of play that when the game started, they showed a bit of lethargy. They were a bit heavy. You could see tiredness in them. So when House of Folk succeeded in scoring 2, and also they had a red card for their goalkeeper, House of Folk should have pushed harder to add a goal or 2, to kill the game here in Ghana before even going there. Because over there, the first thing JSS will do is that right from the blast of the whistle, they will start pressing high on House of Folk in order to get the 2 goals equalized even before the first half ends, just as WAC did in Morocco. And that is how the North Africans play. Against WAC of Morocco, under 4 minutes, WAC had equalized the goal House of Folk scored here in Ghana. Under 7 minutes, they had scored 2 goals. By the 26th minute, they had scored 4. So clearly, they applied that high pressing strategy in the early minutes of the game, and they got House of Folk. So House of Folk in this game must expect that. They will come pressing higher at the start of the game. When they are unable to break through the House of Folk defense in the first half, they will revert to playing target football, where they play long balls from the goalkeeper to the holding midfielder or the midfielder who is the lead midfield for the team, and then they will be using the flanks. So that is what they will be using, stretch the House of Folk defense and try to, put the balls at the back of the net. So House of Folk must be very wary of all these things and ensure that they close down the players of JSS. No shadow marking. It should always be close marking. You shouldn't allow the player to pick the ball before you go in for the tackle. The referee will come in with either a caution or give them a free kick. So you are always at the spot when the ball comes and the player is unable to move. When House of Folk are able to do that, it will frustrate the JSS team and Hearts can get their way through.
Okay. Now, I'd want you to give me what your projections are, scoreline-wise. You've spoken about how, obviously, and this is very obvious to everyone else, that Hearts of Oak need either a win, a draw, or a very slim margin loss to ensure the safe passage to the next stage of the competition. Based on all of these calculations and all of these this analysis, what kind of scoreline would you be projecting for Hearts away to JS Saoura in this game tomorrow?
I think House of Folk can run away with a 2-1 defeat. JS Saoura will win by 2-1, but House of Folk will be able to go through with the 1 goal they'll get away and also the 2 goals they scored here in Ghana. So I don't see JSS, based on what I saw here in Ghana, coupled with the fact that they've had a red card for their first choice goalkeeper, I don't see JSS being a huge threat for House of Folk. House of Folk must just take their chances. If they take their chances, even if they lose the game, it's going to be a 2-1 loss or a 3-2 loss for House of Folk, and still they will go through.
Okay, Sheikh, thank you so much. It's been wonderful having this conversation with you.
You're always welcome, my brother.
Thank you very much. Sheikh Tofik Sienu there, and he was bringing us some analysis. He says that he expects a 2-1 defeat for Hearts of Oak. In North Africa, it's just some unwritten rule of some sort that always happens. Well, let's see if Hearts are able to probably even win this game and do a smooth passage to the next stage of the CAF Confederation Cup. Your messages are still very welcome. There's this one that says, Nat, the Black Princesses have a match against Zambia. What is the kickoff time? Exactly, that is true, and that is the World Cup qualifier between Zambia and Ghana, the Under-20 World Cup qualifier between Ghana and Zambia being played away. Now, no goals have been scored yet in that game, so we'll be updating you on the score lines as we go further. Now, There's a message from Inku Joseph, who is a regular listener and texter as well. I think it's about time the GFA, in collaboration with the Sports Ministry, sets up a fund to cater for traveling cost of all Ghanaian clubs to represent us in African competitions, to ease their burdens if we really want to gain back our 2 slots. As the Accra rep for Brekum Chelsea, I wish Hearts qualifies tomorrow. Thank you very much, Inku Joseph, for that message. It's 055 11 11997 055 1111997. Keep the messages coming in there. All right, so we'll be moving on to the conversation about the Black Stars, but let's just quickly revert. But just before we go, there's this one from Issa Yahya, living in Algeria. He says, Inshallah, Hearts of Oak will win this game. Okay, thank you so much, Issa Yahya from Algeria. He sent in that, okay. And then there's another message here, very, very interesting. Andrew in Tema says, Nathaniel Lato, I put it to you that you are the next FIFA president. Andrew, Adam Corti and Sons Travel Consult. Okay, Andrew, thank you very much for that one. FIFA president, and I haven't even started from the FA. Well, thank you very much. I believe it's a very positive thing, so thank you very much as well. Now, we would want to quickly touch on an innovation by the Ghana FA when it comes to the developmental block of football before we get into the Black Stars conversation, and that is the Interclubs, Codes League. Which is beginning this weekend. Now, the coordinator, Eugene Jacque, has joined us here, and it's good that we have the General Secretary of the Ghana FA also here with us. Eugene, good to have you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. The future FIFA president.
And he says, Andrew says that he puts it to me.
when they put it to you, you have no option than to accept it.
Yeah. And the lawyer here hasn't even put it to me yet. Quite, Charlie, this one there. Someone in USA says, I wish Hearts of Oak the best of luck. Phobia. Thank you very much, Samuel. Okay, I'll be reading a few more of the messages. But Eugene, thank you very much for your time. This is something that everybody has been waiting for a very long time, and finally it's here with us. First of all, tell me about the levels of enthusiasm amongst the among the clubs, these clubs, the fact that they now have a big competitive platform that is going to get them very, very active.
Thank you, and good afternoon to the boss, the GS himself, and good afternoon to all Ghanaians. Yes, everybody is excited. This is something that we have been waiting for years, because you know that the development of football starts from the grassroots. So any neglect at that level means that basically the foundation is not strong. And we must commend the FA president, who is also the chairman of the NJC, for making this possible and making sure that juvenile football is revived again. As you said, all the champions from the regions are coming to Accra to play the KGL U17 Interclub Champions League. The title alone tells you that champions of champions are meeting. And anybody who loves coastal football or juvenile football, this is the time for you to come and see pure talent. If you are a spectator, if you are a coach, you are a football person, all the talents all around in Ghana are meeting in Greater Accra from Monday 6th to 21st of December for this particular tournament. Oh, and if you just give me the opportunity, I'll just give you the names of the clubs that are coming before we move into other areas.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so we have 12 representatives coming from all the regions. In Group A, we have Desideros. He's coming from Greater Accra. We have Great Eagles coming from Northern Region. We have Abosu Soccer Reform from Western Region. We have Beaver Soccer Academy from Central Region. We have Top Rankers from Ashanti Region. We have Wa Yasin from Upper West Region. Then you come to Group B, which is Mal FC from Greater Accra. Action Boys, Eastern Region. Boyson Football Academy, Upper East Region. Royal Sporting Club, Ashanti Region, St. Anthony, Brongahafo Region, Pando Diamond, Volta Region, making the 12 clubs that are gathering in Accra to play this 3 weeks tournament.
And this will be at the Medina AstroTurf pitch, right?
And La Madan AstroTurf. So we have 2 venues.
Okay.
We have a game village at Ashaliboche where all the clubs are going to be staying. We should be grateful to the FA and KGL. They are accommodating them. They are feeding them. Magdan has also come on board to provide 2 sets of jerseys for all the participating clubs. The FA is giving the clubs 15 balls, bibs, cones. This is unprecedented in Ghana football and in coast football.
Wow, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff there. And before we let go of you, Eugene, I'm sure the Ghana FA General Secretary is also very fired up and excited about this, considering that during your formative years in sports journalism and during your days in law school, we were all fixated on these clubs and what we used to see, the magic we used to see from these youngsters, some of whom made it into the national teams.
Yes, not if you mentioned Samuel Sekou for Stephen Appiah and the likes,
Kingston, all of them,
Asamoah Gyan, they were all from the coast level, the juvenile level, but in Ghana we normally say the coast level. And so last year when we reintroduced the juvenile football, because it's been in abeyance for some time, we said that the champions from the regions would come together and play a tournament. And this is the tournament. So the clubs that he mentioned are coming from the regions. We have 10 football regions. Greater Accra, considering their numbers, and then Ashanti region, their numbers as well. They are giving us the champion and then the runners-up. So we have 12 clubs. These are champions in themselves coming from the regions, and they will meet. And then I'm sure when we all go to watch the matches, we'll see the raw talent.
And I know that this is where a lot of football agents, certified football agents, will start opening their eyes very hard to see some of these talents.
So we have a plan.
Okay.
And our national developmental coaches, we also have the U17 and U15 coaches. They will be there to look at it. In fact, when they were playing across the regions, they went round. But this is a tournament. Tournament bring the best from the players, and so it's a huge opportunity for the national talent identification team to identify talent. And so I must wish all the clubs the very best of luck. The players, I've seen them have come through, and then the officiating. We started this project called Catch Them Young of referees, and so these young talents in officiating, they are solely going to handle these matches.
Wow!
So they are also in Pram as we speak. Each region is giving us 3 of the young referees from the matches they've handled. They've selected 3 each. What we did is that one of the 3 must be a young girl. So we have 2 boys and a girl, and they are at Pram now. They are going through, even though you are officiating pre-tournament, you do the pre-tournament exercise and the rules and everything. So they are going through their paces in Pram, and then they will be officiating these matches. So all in all, we are excited. This is the foundation of our game. If we do it well, then we are sure that the pipeline in terms of producing talent is there. We play this year, and it will serve as a springboard for the future, because guess what? The other team players will be seeing this and we will telecast this. They will see their colleagues playing at the national level. And then next year, guess what will happen? Everybody will want to win and come. And that is what will produce more of the talent.
Very well. I am looking forward to seeing Ghana regain its place as a big force in age-specific competitions, specifically under 17, under 20, and the like, on the Olympic level as well. Eugene,
let me just add this. On the female side, We played the regional division one champions. They also came
Sure.
and they play their championship in Temale. And guess what? The national team coaches for under 15, under 17 were there. Currently, the women's under 17, they are in Pram Pram. Not pay attention to this team.
Okay.
You'll see the talent there. Pay attention.
Well, you've heard it here on the Joy Sports Link. We are to pay attention to, the national under-17 women's team, the girls' team, which is the Black Maidens,
Yes.
the new set of Black Maidens players. Remember, the Black Maidens also won bronze under coach Masoud Didi Dramani. Okay, final words before we wrap it up. Eugene, I know what your struggles have been like over the years, trying to put things together within juvenile football as an administrator. I've seen some of the challenges, and I've seen how much you guys have pushed from your end. Tell me about your level of excitement, and tell me what you wish to see in the near future after this process has rolled out for 2 to 3 years.
I'm so excited because, as you said, I have been involved in juvenile football basically for all my 21 years in football administration. And as I said earlier, I commend the FA for the effort, for the resources put in, for the time. For instance, in our last meeting, the GS was there with us to make sure that everything is firm up and is done in a professional way, giving these children also the opportunity to show their talents to the world and excel and become breadwinners of their family. If we continue at this level to give juvenile football the attention, in the next 4 or 5 years, I can tell you that our teams, our national teams, even our Premier and First Division clubs will have very solid players. Because a player, as I said, comes this year. Next year, everybody will also want to come and be seen on national television. It brings competitiveness. Competitiveness will bring the best out of these children. And then some of these children will be spotted by the First Division and Premier teams. They will come and play in our Premier League, in our First Division. The standard goes high. Everybody's interest comes, and football makes all of us happy. So for me, I'm super excited. Anybody who claims to love football and you don't turn up or you don't show up or you don't give the attention as even Joy FM is giving us this platform today towards this tournament, then I don't really think you want Ghana football to progress. So we want everybody to give us the attention this time around. And then we know that Ghana football will go places.
Eugene, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be keeping tabs on that one as well at the Magdan La Town Park and the Medina AstroTurf pitch. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and the best for the rest of the day.
All right, you too. Okay, so Eugene Jacque is a coordinator for the KGL National Juvenile Interclubs competition, the Interclubs Champions League, which is happening at the Magdan La Town Park and the Medina AstroTurf. So 2 AstroTurf pitches hosting this particular tournament, and there's a lot to look forward to. So let's all make our way there. Let's go and support, and let's get encouraged about the next generation of footballers. Now, this text message is going to lead us into the other major conversation that I've been talking about since I got on air. Hi, Nat. Please say hi to Prosper on my behalf. I was not surprised when I read his write-up response to FIFA related to SAFA. He's always on point and quite technical, and they didn't waste their time on frivolousness. They are focused on the most important issues. Also, I have been happy for their conduct in the face of unwarranted confrontation from the South Africans. This, for me, is a challenge for them to be technical and prepare to win the next batch of matches for World Cup qualification. I should say, unwarranted as the South African allegations were, it challenges people like Prosper and all to put in all we need to win the next qualifications. This is from Roger. Okay, Roger, thank you so much for that message, and the rest of it is also very well noted. Thank you so much, Roger, for that message. So keep the messages coming in. 055-1111-997 055-1111-997. Okay, this one is from Joseph in Community 9 in Tema. Hi, good afternoon, Nat. I urge Accra Hearts of Oak to focus and do away with intimidation and officiating, and a draw will be better. Okay, This is from Joseph, aka Ajingo. Thank you so much for that message as well. This one is from Samuel from USA. He says, I wish Accra Hearts of Oak the best of luck in the game. Okay, remember, we're going to bring you live commentary of this game. Prosper, you know, this game that was played, I mean, at a certain point, I put myself in the shoes of the ordinary fan and not as a journalist. And I felt for the ordinary fan because I think the Bafana had a pretty good first half. They were very accurate on the ball. They won a lot of the balls in midfield. Their distribution was good. They used the flanks and all of that. And, they put the Black Stars on edge. They put the fans on edge. They gave us a good game. But then the penalty was called for, was awarded, and then the game was over. And then we saw everything splash out in the media as if it was something that was heavily planned and well choreographed as well. After all of this, when you look back and you reflect on what sometimes these kinds of things do to the image or the international image of Ghana, I mean, how do you feel?
I'm not. We played the match on the 14th of November at the Cape Coast Stadium, and we won. We were not oblivious to the fact that South Africa so happened to be in our group for AFCON, and we qualified. They didn't. So we qualified to the African Nations Cup. They didn't.
And Ghana,
and then
Ghana has been responsible for previous failures to qualify for the World Cup for some weird reason.
For some reason, every time they do the draw, they always find their way into our group. And as a very good football country, we always qualify and they don't. And so after the AFCON one, then the World Cup one came. And once again, we qualified ahead of them. And so we know it will be painful. And you saw it after the final. We saw our players, our captain, and some of our players even were talking to them and wishing the players well that better luck next time. After the match, the competitiveness is over. And so we were all in the stadium. And then they are our friends. We've had good relationships with the South African Football Association. The players know each other. And so we were offering that senior brother shoulders and all that. But then I think their team manager and one other person, they said they will report the referee to CAF and FIFA. That's their complaint. And so they told the match commissioner, he wrote it down. So that was it. We left the stadium, I think by 11, we had left the stadium. We finished the match around 9. It was a 7 p.m. kickoff. I'm sure Ghanaians were jubilating into the night, and that was it. The next day, 15th, we didn't hear anything. So on the 17th, then I think the Monday, then the South African, they left, and then the drama started in terms of press conferences and allegations here and there, to the extent of ball boys and distance to Cape Coast and all that. Once the protest came through, a lot of Ghanaians thought all the things they've heard and continue to hear were part of the protest. But no, it wasn't. We got the documents, and so that's on the 17th. We got the documents, and the FIFA asked us to respond by close of business on the 20th. That was I think Saturday, and then by 23rd they would give it to the disciplinary committee to adjudicate on the matter. So fine. Obviously, you have to look at the protest and to respond appropriately. We look at it, and there were two letters from the South African FA to FIFA. The first one was sent on the 15th. A long subject matter, match manipulation, bribery, corruption, name it. It's a long one. That's the subject matter. And then it contains only one sentence. that the South Africans wish to protest, and that the protest fee will be paid in the next 72 hours. That was the only thing he said. There came a second letter, which had 4 bullet points. The first 2 about the match being played. The third one that they want FIFA to investigate the referee. They didn't say why. And then obviously so that they have a replay. And then the fourth one says that the details will be sent 72 hours. 72 hours again. And that was it. And so you have to juxtapose that with the regulations. And there are 2 key regulations you have to look at. The qualifying matches as is regulation. So the World Cup qualifying matches for World Cup 2022 regulations is one. And then the disciplinary code of FIFA. So we have to look at it and be sure, because we know what is in there, and we don't see what they've done doesn't really sit well or collocate with it. So we have to be sure that is there another regulations they are looking at. So basically we have to point, the legal team have to point to the process of filing a protest with FIFA after a World Cup qualifying match. And the rules are very clear to us, and we know they will be very clear to FIFA too, because these regulations were given to all of us and was also posted on the FIFA website. And it's simple. It says that after the match, within the 2 hours after following the match, if you have a protest, and we know all the grounds for filing a protest, you write it down. So he said a written protest must be given to the match commissioner, not a verbal.
And in this case,
complaint.
it was a verbal complaint that was given to the match
and not
commissioner.
a written protest. So when you do that, you retain a copy. So within 24 hours, you have to send the full written protest and attach the small one you've done to the match commissioner to it, and then you send to FIFA. Obviously, you pay the appropriate fee, which is 1,000 Swiss francs, Switzerland. So, and all these were not done, and so we have to point to the regulation and then point to the fact that on the 15th, when South Africa was sending this letter, by the close of that day, that was the end of the 24 hours. So this quest that they will bring things, first off, they will bring their money in 72 hours, and then they will bring their full protest in 72 hours. We're not
was more of them setting their own rules.
Basically, and the thing is that they don't, you see, it's not out of right. It's not your right. So even if you want extension of time, you must request for it and pray the judicial body to give you that extension, so that you can then oblige. But in this case, they were, I don't know what rule book they were looking at, but they keep mentioning the 72 hours. So they were setting their own thing. So we pointed that out and indicated that this is the full thing. It doesn't contain anything. And so apart from the timelines and everything, and the failing to meet the requirements in terms of the filing, we thought it wise to also say it clearly that you can't say investigate the referee and award a replay when you've not pointed FIFA to what they should be investigating the referee about, because there was nothing. Rather, so this is a protest. This is the formal documents we've responded to. Rather, our friends keep doing press conference, keep tweeting, provoking, and to the extent that their Bafana Twitter, even there was a story written, and this was circulating on some of the African journalists platforms that our chief of staff has been seen in Senegal with the referee. Very, very unfortunate. The man has not been to Senegal since 2019. And they throw this in, and then they will tweet and they will provoke.
You mean the chief of staff of the FA?
Yes.
Michael Osekwe?
Yes. And then all kinds of allegations, to the point that at one point they said, oh, the referee has been suspended. So it means that they are expecting some good news. all those things are just spinning, and then they were not factual. The referee has not been suspended. Decision hasn't come. They said decision come, and so there were a lot of jabs to the extent that our economy was attacked, and then the embodiment of the state too was being attacked, and that was really what got the FA president very furious, and he had to respond.
And I remember those comments. The FA president was very candid and very, straight to the point, when it came to that one. What has happened regarding relationships? Because you mentioned relationships, which is a very core part of the foundations of our football. We can never ever downplay, the strength of the relationships that we have. What has happened in these last few weeks regarding the strength of the relationships? Has it strained relationships, amongst you, your colleagues at SAFA and all of that?
Well, I think we have mutual respect for each other, and it's just one or two people who have just gone beyond the normal football banter, and so I should say that we still have that relationship. We were in Cairo, and we will always be friends with all associations, including the SAFA. And don't forget, we play a very good role after apartheid in playing friendly matches with the SAFA, and then we would always be friends, and we have special relationship with South Africans, from the government side to the sporting side, and I expect it to remain the same. Like I said, we know going out of the AFCON and the World Cup is painful, and we know one or two banter, then fine. But it's just when it went beyond the football space, and then the economy and other things were brought in, that is why we responded. Otherwise, we were fine. And I think that now that the decision has come, I'm friends with the South African FACU. Kurt is also cool with Danny Jordan. It's just that once you transcend into beyond the football arena, then we just needed to tell him that, please.
And the interesting thing is that there is a lot of, there's very good cordial relationships between Ghana and South Africa on the diplomatic front.
It will remain the same.
Yeah, and I've even seen,
the South African president coming to town.
Yeah, the South African president is coming to town. He and Nana Akufo-Addo have a very good relationship. I even do remember that I hosted the Mandela at 100, the Mandela Centenary Dinner at Labadi Beach Hotel, and the president had two very big events. One was also an anniversary, and he chose the Mandela Centenary lecture, above the other one. He appeared there because they were all happening on the same day.
Yes,
and all of these are because of these cordial and these strong relationships.
Yes, so let's be clear. We will not allow this to strain that relationship. In fact, the intention rather is to strengthen it even the more. And so overtures will be there for, and we would be fine. Trust me, we have not taken it. And I must thank Ghanaians and the people of Ghana at large. You see, if you are not careful, then two people are just doing press conference, and you take it beyond the two people. But we were very calm. Ghanaians were very patient, waiting for the decision, and didn't transcend into areas that we shouldn't go. So I'm sure that we would be fine, and we would always have good relationship, mutual respect between the Ghanaians and South Africans.
Well, it's 0302216541. 0302216541. Just get your dial. Just dial and dial these numbers, and let's get talking. It's actually just one number, 0302216541. As we wrap up the conversation here on the Joy Sports Link on Joy99.7 FM. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a live commentary of the game between JS Saoura of Algeria and Accra Hearts of Oak. And Accra Hearts of Oak are going into this game with a 2-goal cushion and are looking forward to scaling the hurdle there in Africa. So 0302216541, 0302216541.
Yeah, it's not. The U20 playing in Zambia is currently halftime, goalless draw. We hope that second half
we'll produce something positive.
We'll make it. They are playing very well. It's just they've not scored yet.
Yeah, and of course, we'd like to remind you that the current under-20 team, the Black Princesses, have quite a good core of Pemdakwa ladies players and Hazaka's ladies players. Hazaka's ladies, Berry ladies, very well. So
as well.
We'll be looking forward to what happens. Now, let's get on the phone line now and speak to our first caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lance. I hope you're doing well.
I'm great, and thanks so much for asking. You go ahead.
Yeah, this is Ajman Joseph Sama.
Okay, please go ahead.
I want to speak briefly on Ghana, South Africa issue.
Very well.
I think they should take it in a good face, because if you look at Arsenal versus Manchester, I mean, it didn't go down well with Arsenal because of the penalty that was ignored. But we need to go forward. We are looking for our next opponent, as West Ham is to do, so that we can occupy the position. I think this is a wake-up call, and to help our FA to urge our boys to go ahead strongly. When they are misliking them, this will be one of the big topics we use to cite them so that they will end up getting to the West Ham. God will you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joseph. 0302216541. 0302216541. Now, so we're looking ahead. I remember very well that Executive Council member Randy Abe put up a post. He said, well, off to the playoffs we go.
Yes. And Nat, let me commend the Blasters captain, the DIU, the way he's rallied the boys. It wasn't easy on supporters and everything. The same. The players also, these things can get to them, but he's been able to get them together and to remain focused on the next assignments. And so I must say that we are grateful for his leadership in terms of how the players are remaining focused and they are not affected by all these side issues.
All right, let's get to our next caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. What's your name?
I'm Sasi.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. I was looking for one MFA. Joy.
Oh, okay. We're on the Joy Sports link. Would have our producer get you through to her. Thank you very much. 0302216541. 0302216541. We'll try to squeeze in one more phone call if we can, and then we can call it a show this afternoon. But thank you all so much for being here with us on the show. There's a message here. He says, and this is from Nathan Gaduga, formerly of myjoyonline.com. He says, congratulations to Prosper Harrisonado, a proud Blelby and the FA for the knockout they gave the loudmouth and emotive FA SAFA petitioners. We are proud of you, Prosper. Thank you very much, Nathan Gaduga, for that message as well. Okay, so long and short, this behind us, and you've said that the relationship will definitely continue and will even be stronger. But then now we really want to look forward to the draw and we want to know who our opposition will be, because that is the most critical part of all of this.
Yes, and on that note, I might say that we should believe in ourselves. People are really have been judging where we are today. The playoffs will be played in March. By March, I think we will be up for it. And Ghana should be feared. And rather, we shouldn't fear anything. Ghana, on its day and at our peak, countries should fear us. Because we are a giant in this game. We've been to the World Cup 3 times. We've won AFCON 4 times. We've been to the finals on a number of occasions. And so I know that the recent history has not been that palatable for for our fans, and that's why we brought the bring back the love. Bring back the love signifies that the love has always been there. It's just that the recent history has made it a certain way, and that's why we say we should bring it back. And I'm glad to say that the love is really coming back. In the coming weeks, we have to prepare for the campaign and then to go to the AFCON. And then from the AFCON, we have to take the whatever gains we in terms of team bonding and playing together to the playoffs and qualify for the World Cup. On the domestic front, we are at week 6 of the Premier League. This weekend, Kotoko is playing King Faisal, both having lost at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. We know they will sell out a good game to promote our game. The Division 1 League is at week 3. The women will be playing tomorrow in their Super Cup finals between Azakes Ladies and Lady Strikers. And then the juvenile interclubs course Clubs Champions League, sponsored by KGL Foundation with the support of McDan, and then the Women's Premier League will start on the 17th. So all the clubs are getting together. Next week we have a UEFA Assist program for women's football as well. And then the Blasters, the 17 are in camp. The women's 17 Black Maidens, Princesses, are playing today. The Black Starlets will go to camp. They've done some preparatory work in terms of getting some of the under 15 players, and then a few ones they've selected along when they play the Coast League. And then the under 22 going to camp. And so we are getting our pieces in place, and more importantly, per our calendar this year, we would finish all our competitions by June, so that we come back to what our statute says, that our season is from July 1st to June 30th, and so we'll come back to align our calendar well with what the law says. So
very well.
By and large, we continuous improvement, and so we'll learn from all the comments that we get. People shouldn't think that when they criticize, we don't pick from that. We've always said that constructive criticism is good, and so we pick all of these, save them, the ones that we can use going forward. Continuous improvement, we continue to improve. Having this opportunity, let me also say that sometimes the calls are so many, the WhatsApp groups and the messages are so many. I don't get to pick all the calls, and so when I get opportunity like this, I like to apologize to whoever has called and I've not been able to pick. You finish one meeting and the phone is ringing, so you can't. Sometimes you don't get opportunity to go back to answer all the missed calls. So sorry to anyone. And
Prosper,
everyone.
thank you so much. It's always great having you here on the show. Let's wish ourselves well, and hope that Ghana makes massive impact, on the international scene with all of these major assignments. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's how we wrap it up here on the Joy Sports Link. And before we go, we would like to once again extend our condolences from here at the Multimedia family to the FA President, Kurt Okreku, who's a friend of the Multimedia Group. He lost his father, Mr. Simeon Okreku, also known as Decide. And a ceremony was held yesterday to mark the traditional week of his passing. And we'd like to assure him of our support, and we'd like to pray God to give him strength in these rather trying times. So, Mr. Keto Kweku, our condolences go out to you one more time. Coming up very shortly will be Showbiz A to Z, and Showbiz A to Z will be talking about the leadership of Musica and all of those who are placing themselves up to lead the organization. Tomorrow, it will be GS Aurora versus Accra Hearts of Oak, and there'll be live commentary right here. I'll be back next week with another Joy Sports Link. Thank you all so much. Thanks to the whole production team, led by Elon Benaya Defeamekpo and Dennis Ofei. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.